Chapter 1. Home. Earth, February 21st, 2355. Kristen bent her knees and leaned back on the sky glider, clutching the sail's horizontal boom rail with all her might. It grabbed more wind, lifting the rig higher into the sky. Red lightning arced all around as she bounced along the front edge of the raging storm. With her boots locked tight, she felt little fear of falling off, though losing control and crashing became a whole different matter. 1,000 feet below, her target sped along a craggy dirt road. The bulky, six-wheeled terrain tracker fought to stay in front of the onrushing tempest. It headed for the Dallas Life Pod, which appeared in the distance sooner than she expected. The city's half-mile-wide dome glowed white in the desert sea like a lighthouse of old. Its immense concrete wall protected the inhabitants from their unforgiving surroundings. That used to be home, Kristen thought. Her parents barely scraped by in Dallas. Then she discovered that damn bag of seeds. Worth more than gold, her dad claimed. They planned on bartering it to escape and start over in the Kansas life pod. But disaster struck during the treacherous journey. Bandits killed her parents. She ended up a slave in Kansas. Her new life became a living hell. Now only death awaited her there. She'd not be welcomed here in her hometown either. If only Missouri had stayed open, she grumbled to herself. I could go there. Her helmet's computer opened a channel. Oklahoma is closer. No, it's dead too. The entire planet is. She tried to imagine the vast, barren land thriving and green again. Then her parents would still be alive. But they're not. A burst of wind knocked her sideways, forcing her to muscle the board back around. She caught herself, then looked down. The terrain tracker seemed to hit a faster gear, trying to outrace the storm. Computer, will they make it? Too close to call, it replied. A screeching alarm in Kristen's helmet warned her that the oxygen tank bordered on empty. The envirosuit might protect her from the elements, but it wouldn't do any good if she couldn't breathe. She pushed with her foot, and the front of the board dipped. The rig streaked downward, hurtling toward the ground as if riding a giant rogue wave. She angled to intercept the vehicle before it entered the city. Furious wind buffeted her. Her hand furthest from the mast slipped off the boom rail, but she grabbed it before the sail could tear away. At the bottom of the raging trough, she pulled up and ripped across the surface mere feet above the ground. The sky glider's magnetic inductors kicked in, keeping it aloft as the rear of the terrain tracker grew rapidly in her visor screen. Kristen yanked in the sail in a futile effort to reduce her speed. Warning, the computer blared. Slow down. Disengage footlocks, she ordered. You will crash. I know, damn it. Do it now. The boot snaps released with a pop. She scrambled to the front of the board and leaped for the back of the tracker. Her body slammed into it. She slid down, clawing for the grips until her feet dragged on the ground. Her helmet clattered and banged against the door. The sailboard hit the dirt road and exploded. Pieces rocketed out. A chunk of the boom rail shot straight for her. Kristen let go with one hand and flung herself to the corner edge, barely dodging it. She swung back and grabbed it again, her heart pounding. The vehicle continued its breakneck pace, lurching across the rocky wasteland and desolate hills. Desperate, she pulled upward and heaved herself on top of the metal behemoth, wedging between the cargo racks and antennas. Titan's ass, she thought, shaking inside. I hope no one heard that. The city's massive outer door loomed ahead. It opened slowly, creating an escape route into the sanctuary. Stormy blasts of sand engulfed her as the terrain tracker barreled through the entrance and slid to a halt. The gritty cloud followed until the titanium gate closed behind them with a heavy thud. When the swirling dust settled and toxic gases vented away, the inner airlock opened. The tracker rumbled into the compound and stopped. Kristen's visor retracted up into a thin line, and she quietly took a few deep breaths. Relief and amazement washed over her. Made it. Now if I can... A stern voice came from below.
We know you're up there. Come down now and we might let you live.
Thank you for listening to the first scene of Future's Dark Past. The audiobook will be available on March 14th at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and your other favorite bookstores.